Hello Taurus, this is Julie from White Wolf and I'm here with Maddie and we're here to do your overall reading for December, January, February. We've been on hiatus for a while. It's our busy season, so we're back up and running now. And so I'm going to let Maddie go first.
Okay, so astrologically for this winter, starting off December with some hiccups. On the 4th, Venus is moving into Scorpio, which is going to make us want to really dig deep and get to the root of things. We're going to be maybe attracted to a little bit of a darkness, which could put you in a bit of an emo mood for when Mercury stations retrograde in Capricorn on the 12th. Just expect a lot of hiccups in plans, things breaking down, resources not being available. And, but the next day, the new moon is in Sagittarius, and I think that'll, you can really take advantage of, pulling yourself out of that state if you have the energy to, and maybe some setting intentions of like, what can I learn to make this better? Sagittarius has a very sunny energy. So if you can kind of tap into that, I think that will bring you out of that darkness a little bit. We have the full moon in Cancer on the 28th. So, if you're celebrating Christmas or the winter holidays, that'll can really connect you to family, get you really, finding and exploring where you feel safe to be vulnerable. On the 30th, Jupiter is stationing direct in Taurus. So expect blessings to come to you. When Jupiter is stationing direct in your sign, I think you feel like you have a little bit more to work with. Jupiter just brings abundance to whatever it touches. So just more of everything. And then starting off the new year with Mercury turning direct. So we're starting the new year with a little bit more clarity. And it's stationing direct in Sagittarius. So if you were able to put together some plans and intentions on that new moon, expect the pieces to start fitting together on the 1st. And Venus is moving into Capricorn on the 23rd at the end of the month. So those hiccups, will probably start to smooth out. The Venus in Capricorn is very finding the beauty in what you have a little bit more and the potential of what you can work with. End of February, when we start moving into Pisces season, things get a little dreamier. So, just expect to kind of rest. February, I'm getting, is going to be a lot about rest. Dates to keep in mind in the new year, January 9th, 13th, 24th, and 26th. And then February 1st, 9th, 22nd, 23rd, 27th, and 28th. The moon is going to be void, of course. So make sure to take a rest. So I'm really seeing February as a slowdown month. When the moon is void, of course, different astrological aspects have a little bit more difficulty really getting to us. So everything gets a little quieter and things don't get done as smoothly. So, just remember to take a breath. This whole winter is going to be a lot of recovery, I think, for a lot of people. And so what do you have going on?
December, I think there's conflict going on. May cause a tower moment. But keep rolling, just because you have that moment, we don't get stuck in that moment. See things differently and keep rolling towards, slow and steady wins the race in December. December is usually kind of crazy anyways, but for you, I think it's a little more rocky. So just keep building, keep moving towards that goal, slow and steady. January, family, balancing everything out. You're still stressing and worrying about things, but we can't keep repeating that pattern. You come out of it okay, but you're still worried about things. So I think in February, I know you talked about, more of a retrospective. I think everybody's going to be in hermit mode. So pulling back, being patient, because by the end of the month, I see you've got a couple choices of things coming in. Are you going to let them go, or are you going to pull it together? So I think you make the right choice, and there's good news coming in. But I think you'll have to sit and balance that out and see which way is for you.
Yeah. So for my readings for this winter, I use 3 different decks for each month, and you have the 5 of Cups coming up twice and the 8 of Cups coming up twice in different months. So I think there's going to be a lot of themes kind of resurfacing throughout this whole season. December, I see you really losing your voice a little bit, and a lot of depression coming in. I always like to say depression is a skill. Sometimes you have to treat it like a cold and just kind of let it run its course. But I see you kind of like losing faith a little bit and losing the bigger picture. And it really is okay to kind of detach. Not everything has to be that meaningful. You don't have to really buy in to all the fears. Like there's big scary monsters kind of around you, and you don't have to give away your power to that. But there's a difference between allowing your fire to go out and just taking a step back from like, the bigger picture. I think if you're on a path of self-betterment, emotional evolution, there might be a little pause there, and it's okay. But I really see you kind of quieting down. I mean, Taurus rules the voice, and I think once you find your voice kind of going away, that's gonna, it's gonna really mess with your confidence. Going into January, you're gonna want to rush that recovery. I think you're gonna just get to a point where you're like, I am so sick of being so down, but it's not quite over yet. That 5 of Cups, that depression card is still there, and there's a meaning behind it. This is I really see the theme of this winter is just learning how to be not okay and have it not be the end of the world. That healing process is going to take a lot of time, and it's not all bubble baths and lavender. It's, sometimes it's just gonna suck, and that trying to like have that like light bulb moment of like, this is what it all means. It's gonna take time, and it's gonna be cold and dark. Your animal ally is the narwhal, so it's, just, we're in the depth of winter. It's just, but you got to really feel your way through it, and it's okay to be in that space. February, I think messages are coming through, and it's messages about endings. There's some mourning happening, but that clarity is on its way. I think February you're just going to feel really overwhelmed and just really overburdened, and not wanting to connect with other people, maybe isolating a little bit, or there's miscommunications happening, and that's okay too. You're not your best self right now. Your voice is not as clear as it needs to be, so those connections are going to kind of be a little difficult. But you have that 8 of Cups again, and which is, that emotional evolution that you might have put on pause in December is going to pick back up at the end of February. I think once you have that time to really rest, then you can kind of get it moving again, gain a better perspective, be over the drama, get over your own feelings. And I can see you kind of having that, that wake up call of just like, okay, that was weird. And, so we have, divine messages coming through. And, but it having to do with like, okay, how can we get back to work? And your, theme for this whole winter, interesting, because this is all kind of dark and cold. Your overall animal ally for this winter is a scorpion. Totally the opposite. Moving fast in a hot environment, and you have that tough stinger. So how can you keep that fight? It's gonna be a different kind of fight, but how can you really keep that energy, within you?
Sometimes we have to slow down to speed up.
Yeah, or just learn like, okay, that fight kind of goes away for a little bit. It's gonna be so much more meaningful when it does come back.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Until next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.